Farming has been one of the key discoveries that has allowed us to build communities. Since time immemorial, the first humans were known to be nomads who roamed around the lands in search of food. But upon the discovery of farming, humans were able to grow crops and their own food, which meant that they no longer found the need to transfer from one place to another. The science, art, and practice of cultivating plants and livestock is called agriculture, and through this, we're able to build communities where civilizations thrived and brought us to where we are today. Hey guys, we hope you're all feeling good today, and welcome back to our channel where once again, we're going to be discovering another educational topic, and this time, we're going to share with you several facts about what agriculture and the biggest and oldest farmlands are. So, to know more about this topic, watch until the end. But before we go on with today's video, make sure that you like this video if you do enjoy this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. The history of farming. Agriculture has at least 11 separate regions of the Old and New World that were named as independent centers of origin. Before everything else, men were hunters who roamed the lands and gathered food. Scholars have developed several hypotheses on how men shifted from being nomads to practicing sedentism, or the practice of living in one place for a long time. They believed that localized climate change played a big role in the origins of agriculture. When major climate change took place after the last ice age, much of the earth had become subject to long dry seasons. These conditions favored annual plants, which die off in the long dry season, leaving a dormant seed or tuber. It is believed that agriculture came around 7,000 to 10,000 years ago during the Neolithic Age or the New Stone Age era. It wasn't until after 9,500 BC that the 8 so-called founder crops of agriculture had appeared. First, there was emmer and inkhorn wheat, then hulled barley, peas, lentils, bitter vetch, chickpeas, and flax, whereas figs were the first plant cultivated. Aside from that, aroids were also named as the world's oldest crops and were the most widely distributed starchy foods during the 16th and 19th centuries. Cultivation already occurred when rice and wheat were just weeds. Archaeological evidence from the Solomon Islands have suggested that taro was already in use at about 28,700 years ago. Interesting facts about agriculture. As of today, agriculture is one of the continuously booming industries and is even considered the single largest employer in the world. 40% of the world is involved in some form of agriculture, which makes sense, considering that we do need it to survive. But we may need more farmers and a lot of more land to be able to cultivate, since the current farms might not be enough to cater to what is coming with the growing population. It was originally predicted by 2050 that farmers will have to grow 70% more food than what is currently being produced. Another fun fact about farming is that bananas are the #1 fruit crop in the world. They're the 4th overall crop after wheat, rice, and corn. India is the leading country and grows more bananas than any other place in the world, followed by the Philippines, China, and Ecuador. Raising beef cattle is also one of the biggest segments of American agriculture, and it produces more beef than any other country in the world. It was also reported that about 34 million cows are slaughtered annually in the US. Where are the biggest farms in the world located? We are all aware that the earth is made up of 71% water, so that leaves the remaining 29% in land areas. The country with the biggest farmland is actually located in the biggest continent, China. Surprisingly enough, the United States is not part of today's list, since the other farms on today's list are just located in other countries. Mudejiang City Mega Farm in Heilongjiang, China. Topping the list of today's biggest farmland is China's Mudejiang City Mega Farm, which is located in the northeast region that marks the 123 million euros, which is collaborated between the Chinese and Russian investors. The mega farm spans 22.5 million acres and was built back in 2015 as a solution to the Russian ban on dairy products in Europe. As such, it was created to fill the supplies that the market had needed. The farm specializes in dairy and has around 100,000 cows for production, which is a whopping 3 times more than the largest in America, which is California. The cows used in the farms were imported from different countries, such as New Zealand, Australia, and Uruguay. These cows are kept safe inside, as opposed to grazing on land, and fed a mix of grains and fodder. Since Chinese land is limited, the company adopted the American farming model, where the cows are kept indoors throughout the year with limited access to sunlight. These cows are milked 3 times a day for an 8-minute cycle on a rotary system, and as a result, the Mudejiang City Mega Farm produces produces a staggering 800 million liters per year. Modern dairy in Anhui, China. Second on today's list is the modern dairy in China's Anhui province. Simply known as Modern Dairy, it is one of the largest producers of milk in the country and spans 11 million acres of land. Anna Creek in South Australia, Australia. Number 3 on the list is the world's largest working cattle station that spans 6 million acres. The Anna Creek Station. This station is owned by Williams Cattle Company, who had acquired the land from the Kidman family, who had owned the land for over 100 years. Eventually, the Kidmans ended up selling the cattle station to the Williams Cattle Company in 2016. In the station, they helped to raise Santa Gertrude's cattle as they are suitable for hot, dry climates. Clifton Hills in South Australia, Australia. Fourth on the list of today's biggest farmland also comes from Australia, and it measures approximately 4.2 million acres and is called the Clifton Hills Station. This station is on a pastoral lease, meaning that government-owned crown land is leased out to grazers for various livestock grazing on rangelands. Clifton Hills Station was established by J.H. Howie back in 1876, who had 1,000 cattle over land from Aramac Station. It was then bought and passed on to different hands until the station was bought in November 2018, which was done in a partnership that included Viv Oldfield, who already owned the adjoining Pandy Station and also ended up buying Maryville Station. The 2018 purchase had included some 18,000 certified organic cattle. Alexandria, Northern Territory, Australia. Coming in 5th place for today is another pastoral lease from Australia called the Alexandria Station. This station is the largest pastoral property in the Northern Territory and is also Australia's 3rd largest pastoral property, measuring at 4 million acres. The station is currently one of 15 properties which is owned by the North Australian Pastoral Company and has been owned since 1877, making Alexandria NAPCO's the oldest and largest property. However, the station was put underwater by heavy rains in 2009, and 3 years later in 2012, the flooding turned the area into an inland sea. Davenport Downs in Northern Territory, Australia. Measuring 3.7 million hectares in Australia's Davenport Downs, which is also located in Northern Territory in Australia, it is the largest cattle station in Queensland and is currently owned by the Powerway Pastoral Company, which had purchased it way back in 2009. Home Valley in Western Australia, Australia. Number 7 on our list is the Home Valley Station, which serves as a cattle station in Western Australia on a pastoral lease. Measuring approximately 3.5 million hectares, the pastoral lease is currently owned by the Indigenous Land Corporation, along with the nearly Cardew Station and Durack River Station. This station is known as an HV8, which is also the station's brand and was established in 1957. A fun fact about Home Valley Station is that some parts of the station were featured in the 2008 adventure drama film Australia and served as the fictional property called Fairway Downs. Inaminka in South Australia, Australia. Next, we have Inaminac Station, or simply Inaminac, which also operates as a cattle station on a pastoral lease. The station's name is derived from 2 Aboriginal words meaning your shelter and your home. Measuring approximately 3.4 million acres, this station was founded by Robert Bostock way back in 1872 and is currently owned by the pastoral company S. Kidman & Co., Wave Hill in Northern Territory, Australia. In 9th place, we have the Wave Hill Station located in the Northern Territory of Australia, which is also a pastoral lease and operates as a cattle station. This station is known for being the site of the famous Wave Hill Walk-Off, a strike executed by Indigenous Australian workers for much better pay and conditions, which in turn was an important influence on Aboriginal land rights in Australia. Measuring 3.3 million acres, Wave Hill was established by Nathan Buchanan in 1883 and put the property for auction in 1894, which was then purchased by Buchanan's brother William. Marion Downs in Queensland, Australia. Finally, rounding out today's list of the biggest farmlands is the Marion Downs Station in Queensland, Australia. Commonly referred to as Marion Downs, it also operates as a cattle station on a pastoral lease and is currently owned by the North Australian Pastoral Company. Measuring 3 million acres, it was established in 1877, but a year later, it was sold by then owner Mr. F. Scar to Mr. Andrew Tobin and his company, a New South Wales investor, which then thought of raising sheep in the area because of the abundance of saline herbage and lime. But Tobin stocked the station with cattle instead, buying over 1,000 store cattle in 1880. And with that, we have concluded with today's video about the biggest and oldest farmland facts. Hopefully you ended up learning a lot today and enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.